The President has called for a nearly 30% cut at EPA, which would severely impair the agency's ability to fulfill its mission to safeguard public health and our environment. We know all too well the cost of failing that mission, of the pain of communities, of children and families who suffer illness resulting from pollution in their air and water. So yes, I am concerned that EPA is increasingly allowing polluters to set the agenda and threaten public health with minimal accountability. Under Administrative Pruitt, common sense public health and environmental protections are being slated for elimination with no regard for scientific evidence and little justification beyond the wishes of regulated entities. In addition, I am troubled by the dismissal of science by the agency's political leadership. Hundreds of scientists have left EPA with no apparent plan to replace them. Expertise on the science advisory boards has been eroded, and the recently proposed rule to undermine the use of science in rulemakings will severely limit the agency's ability to safeguard public health. I know many career employees at EPA simply want to work hard to ensure the air we breathe is clean and the water we drink is safe. To them, I say thank you. But the agency's political leadership is pursuing a different agenda, and the mounting evidence of serious ethics violations and credible investigations at the highest level cannot go unscrutinized.
Yesterday, I joined with Ranking Member Cummings of the Oversight and Government Reform Committee to request an additional investigation by the Office of Special Counsel into your troubling pattern of apparently retaliating against EPA employees who question your extravagant spending. And I'm confident that these investigations will affirm what I've come to believe is true, that you are unfit to hold public office and undeserving of the public trust. And I don't say those words, because I particularly dislike you or hold you in ill repute. I just think that every indication we have is that you really should resign and you are undeserving of the public trust.
It is indisputable that we have made enormous progress in advancing President Trump's reform agenda and pruning back decades of regulatory overreach that was unnecessary, burdensome, and ultimately harmful to hardworking Americans across the country. When the President nominated me to this position, I believe the work was going to be impactful, and it has been, and tremendous progress has been made. But I did not expect the work to be easy, and I knew there would be meaningful opposition. However, as I sit before you today, I recognize there have been very troubling media reports over the past few weeks. I promise you that I, more than anyone, want to establish the hard facts and provide answers to questions surrounding these reports. Let me be very clear. I have nothing to hide as it relates to how I've run the agency for the past 16 months. I'm not afraid to admit that there's been a learning process, and when Congress or independent bodies of oversight find fault in our decision-making, I want to correct that and ensure that it does not happen again. Ultimately, as the administrator of the EPA, the responsibility for identifying and making changes necessary rests with me and no one else. With that being said, facts are facts and fiction is fiction, and a lie doesn't become truth just because it appears on the front page of the newspaper. Much of what has been targeted towards me and my team has been half-truths or at best stories that have been so twisted that they do not resemble reality. And I'm here, and I welcome the chance to be here, to set the record straight in these areas. But let's have no illusions about what was really going on here. Those who have attacked the EPA and attacked me are doing so because they want to attack and derail the President's agenda and undermine this administration's priorities. I'm simply not going to let that happen.